In this over-the-shoulder training, I'm going to show you exactly how to create colouring books. So this is exactly what I'm doing right now. Now also I'm going to show you one of my colouring books. I'm going to show you the cover, the interior, and then exactly how I made that. So let's get right into it. So this is the interior for my first colouring book that I made. I decided to do a swear word colouring book for adults because there's a lot of demand there. So this is the interior. This is the first page, and if we scroll through, I'll show you all the other pages. So this one says that on it. And then if we scroll down, if you're wondering why I have a blank page in between each page, it's because when people get the colouring book and then they start colouring in, there's not another pattern on the back side. So on the back of this page is just a blank page. That way, when they're colouring in and the bleed goes through the page, it's not going to affect any other patterns. So what I've done, I've created 25 colouring swear word pages, but the book is around 50 something pages because that blank page. So remember that. That's the other one. Then we got this one just here. Now I'm going to show you in a second exactly how I created these so you can do it as well. But this page, what I did with this was designed the front cover. So if we go over to here, we can see my front cover. Then all I did was started to colour in some of the pattern. I used a free software to do this, which I'll also show you that in a second. And then I kept it really simple. As you can see, it just says swear word colouring book. Now when it comes to the colours, I wanted to keep it nice and bright so it stands out. And the colours I used no more than 4. So I used the black, blue, pinkish, and purple, and then I matched the back cover to one of these colours to keep it congruent. And then here I've got a few examples of what's on the inside, and then again I kept it really simple where it just says swear word colouring book for adults, and then 25 swear word colouring pages, single-sided because they are. That's what I did just here. That's why there's a blank page. So single-sided, unique, beautiful patterns. Now they're unique, if we scroll up, wrong one, they're unique because I designed this myself. So these mandala patterns I found on other sites, but then I combined them all together to make a unique pattern. Now when it comes to colouring books, there's so many ideas out there. So I went with the swear word colouring book to begin with because I saw that there's a lot of demand out there, and I also saw that some of the colouring books are just complete crap and they sell really well. So let me show you an example of that. So let's head on over to Amazon. Right here, this was published in 2017. If we read the reviews, this book is rather big letdown. Frankly, it looked like they superimposed giant curse words over photocopies of other adult colouring book pages. Then this one's quite a bad review as well. But if we actually go to the top and look here, you can see they don't look that great at all. And then I've also found another one just here. So if we click on that and go here to the back page, you can see this doesn't look that great either. But if we scroll down and see the BSR, just here, that one's ranked 912th place in the bookstore. And that one is ranked around 3000th place. And as you can see, they're not actually that great. So I was doing my research, I found these, and I thought, hey, I could do a lot, or I could do a much better job than that. Why not give it a go? And that's why I decided to do a swear word colouring book. Now, don't just get stuck on doing swear word colouring books. there is demand for them, but there's so many ideas out there when it comes to your colouring books. So you could do motivational, so you could have motivational quotes. You could create this Mandela pattern, which I'm going to show you how to create in a second, but then you could have motivational quotes on there. You could do ones for teenagers where it's got jokes on. You could do niche specific with animals, so you could do Mandela patterns and have unicorns on the pages as well. Again, there's so many ideas out there when it comes to colouring books. Now, me personally, I'm going to be focusing on colouring books over the next few weeks, because remember, it's always a good idea to diversify your library. So, how did I actually create these? Let's get into that. Now, at the minute, I'm creating more for a new book that I am working on. So I've been doing these this morning, and as you can see, they look pretty good. So if we go down to the blank page, at the minute I have this set up as 8.625 times 11.25. That's an 8.5 times 11. Now this doesn't really matter too much because we're just going to create them here, download them, upload them here, and then create the interior. Now the good thing about this, the whole book that I've made for this one, I created pretty much everything within Canva. So right here I created the cover, and then right here I also created the interior, all within Canva. So this is really simple. So first things first, you're going to need some Mandela patterns. Mandala patterns, not Mandela. You don't want Mandela patterns, but you're going to need some of these. Now there's a few different places that you can get these, and you can get them for free on places like Pixabay. You've just got to have a good look round, then you can download them. See, these would actually work really well, and then create your patterns. Or you could also use Creative Fabrica like I've been using. So it's really easy to get hold of Mandela patterns. Mandala, not Mandela. So once we go back here, once you've downloaded them and then uploaded them here within Canva, you can then start creating those patterns. Now what I suggest you doing is making every single page unique, because I was going through some of the reviews over on Amazon on other similar books, and quite a few people were saying that they've just used the same patterns over and over again, enlarged them, made them look a little bit different, and then just slapped a word on top of that. So try and keep every single page unique. So let's design one of these. What we're going to do is just take one. We can have it centered in the middle like that, and then we're just going to choose another one. So let's choose this one. Then all I do is start moving it around. I normally have one in the center, one on each corner, and then I fill in the gaps. So watch what I mean. We're going to copy that, move that one over to about there. We're going to copy that, move that one up to about there, copy that one, move that to about there, and now we're going to choose a different one. So let's take that. Actually, let's take a different one. Let's go with this one. So right now I'm going to move that to about there, position, move all the way to the back, copy, move up, move that one to the back. Actually, then I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to copy this one, move that over. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger, like that. Have that about there. Copy, move over, and have that about there. Position to the back, position to the back. See, really simple to create these patterns. Let's do that one more time. So I'm going to copy all that. I'm going to delete this one. Then I'm going to use a different pattern. So let's go with this one. And then we're going to use, let's go with this. No, not that one. Cancel, delete, Let's choose this one. Now with this one, I'm just going to go straight down like that, line it up, copy, move to the top, copy, move to the side, copy, move to the side again. Then I'm going to take this one, copy, line that one up, position to the back, copy, line it up, position to the back, copy, copied that too many times, move it up, position to the back, copy, position, drop to the back. Then I'd probably keep that one like that. And again, as you can see, it looks really good. So once you've created as many pages as you want, remember I'm only doing 25 pages at the minute and turning that into a 50-page book. Now with these designs, you could also just do a standard mandala colouring book and keep it like that. So let's go and download one of these. So all we're going to do is download as a PNG. We're going to go for page 11 and download. Now when it comes to putting words or quotes on your pages, you don't want to do that within Canva. And the main reason being is you can't put a drop shadow on the text on Canva. So let me show you. Let's pull this up. Let's just put monkey. That was the first thing that came to mind. So let's just make that a little bit bigger. 104. Move that up. Make that a little bit slanted. Move that over. So as you can see, there's no way to put a shadow with on the letters. So if you had this as white, you're hardly going to be able to see the writing. So the way that I got round this is using Pixlr's editor. So let's close a couple of these tabs and go to the Pixlr editor. Now if you want to get here, you can simply Google Pixlr editor, or you can get there by going to pixlr.com/editor. So we're just going to open the image from the computer, and that would be this one. Let that load up, and now it's brought we can type in what we want. So I'm going to do caps locks and do monkey. Now I'm going to go to color, make white, press OK, and then make sure you're on the layer. So as you can see, this is blue. If I was on the background, it would do blue like that, but we want the writing where we just wrote. And then we go here. In fact, let's just make that bigger for a second. I can't even see that now. There we go. So let's just make that 200. Move that up. Now you want to click this little button here where it says layer styles. Click that, press drop shadow, keep all these settings exactly the same, and just press OK. And now you can see we have a drop shadow. That wasn't 200, so let's do that again, 200. Now if you want to make this slanted, you're going to want to press OK, come back over, right click here on the word, so it brings up this, come down to here, so what's that say? Rasterize layer. So you're going to want to click that. And then we go up to edit, just here, free transform. And then we can move it on the sides like that. We can make it a little bit smaller, move that over and press anywhere on the screen and press OK or yes. and that's how you can get the drop shadows on your letters. So let's just do that again. We're going to do a different one. Let's do monkey. We're going to do white. Go over, press OK. Do the drop shadow, OK, and OK again. Now let's just play around with the fonts, because they have quite a lot of different fonts here that you can use. So let's just find one that looks good. Scroll down. That one looks good. So again, we're going to press OK. Right click, click there, edit, free transform, and now we can turn it. So to turn it, you just come right to the edge just here, and then you can turn it like that. Move that over, center it, click away from the page, OK, go up to File, Save, let that load up, make sure it's the PNG, press OK. I'm going to keep the name exactly the same, override the existing pattern, and now if we go here to Files, I have that pattern ready to create the interior. So let's go to Downloads, click on that so we can see what it looks like. But as you can see, we need that drop shadow right there on the letters so the words stand out from the page. I don't think that's going to load. Anyway, let's close that and go back to Colour in Books. So back over to Canva. Now this is going to be an 8.5 times 11. That's the book that I decided to create. So because if you want your pages or your mandala to go right to the edge of the page, you're going to have bleed in the interior, and this is what I have for bleeds. That's 8.625 times 1125, or you could just do an 8.5 times 11 if you don't plan on having it go to the edge. So what do I mean by that? Let's go right down to the bottom of the page, right here. And let's go and upload what we just created. So let's take that, drop that in. Now ideally you want to do all your patterns and then all your words all at the same time, so it's faster and easier to then create the interior. So let that load up for a second. Now we can click on that. And as you can see, we can build out the interior. We could make that all the way go all the way to the edge like that. And that's when you would need bleed. So if you want your pages like this, have the bleed dimensions set up properly. If not, what I'm currently doing is having it a little bit smaller than the page, like that, and then I'm putting a border around that. Now the main reason being, when people are colouring in their mandalas or their patterns, it gets quite annoying trying to colour in if it's right to the edge. So if it's right to the edge like that, it's annoying. Well, this is what I found years ago when I used to colour, or when I colour with my nieces and nephews. It's quite annoying to colour this in right at the edge. So that's why I put a little border around the outside, so we can make that a bit smaller. We can go here to Elements, click on that. I'm going to leave it a greyish colour. I want that border a little bit thinner, like that, or maybe a little bit thinner than that. Just do that by dragging, making it smaller. Then you want to drag to the sides like that. Then go right to the top, like that. And bam, we have a border round the edge. Now what I'm going to do is drag over all of that and just make sure that this is centered on the page, just like that. And there we go, we started to create the interior. Now remember, you would have more pages created, so then what you would do is simply clone the page, click on that, you want to move the border to the back like so, and then we can click on the image, delete, and add the new page. Then we can enlarge that to make it fit the border like that. Click up here to position, move to the back, and now we have another page. And then remember, all you have to do to add a page in between is clone the page and completely delete like that. So that's how simple it is to create the interior just using Canva. Now I'm going to delete that. Going to delete that one as well, and delete that one. But that's how simple. Nope, I messed up. That one needs to go like that. Back to my normal interior. But again, that's how simple it is to create the interior, and you can just use Canva to do this. And I almost forgot to say, when you've created your interior and you're happy, when you go to download it, simply click on the arrow, change that to PDF, and then download all pages. And then that is going to download your interior. Now remember, on the first page, so say this is your first page, you just want to customize that a little bit, maybe put your pen name there, and then say what type of colouring book it is or who it belongs to, but just remember to customize that first page. So let's take a look at the interior once it's downloaded. So this is one of mine from my first book, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. We've got that blank page in between, so the bleed can't go through the page onto another pattern, but that's how simple it is, and they look really good. Now remember, you can do any type of colouring book like this. You could do the motivational, you could do jokes, you could do animals. So just get those creative juices flowing, or go and do some research over on Amazon to see what type of books are in demand. Now let's go back to the front cover, because now I'm going to show you exactly how I coloured all of this in if you decide to do something very similar. So the tool that I use, or the software, is called paint.net. Now I'm sure there's plenty of other softwares out there which you can use, and if you know of any, just use that. This is what I use because this is really simple, it's free as well. All you have to do is type into Google, download paint.net, and you're going to find where to download it. So once you've got this, you want to open it up and press layers. Now we're going to go from import from file, let that load up. Then we're going to take that mandala pattern that we just created, like so. Now from here, it's really easy to start colouring this in. Let's move this over. So you want to use, let's move that over, this spray paint bucket thingy-majig just here. So we're going to click on that, and then you can start using the colours that you want to use. Bright colours look really good because it makes your book stand out, and don't overuse too many colours, otherwise it's not going to look that good, and just use colours that complement each other. So for this example, let's just start using blue. Then we click on there like that, and it's going to colour it in. Then we do that again. In fact, let's change that one back to white and do blue just here. Go back to blue like that and like that. And then we can choose a different colour. So let's do what goes well with blue, yellow. Let's do, go back to blue, click off the page like that, go to yellow, click on that one, click away from the page, and then we can start doing some of this. So let's go with, let's do this bit, yellow, 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 yellow. Let's do blue again. Change that back to yellow. Click away from the page, go on blue, 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 and so on. Now you don't have to do your front pages like this. I probably suggest that you don't. I'm just showing you an example of how I created my first colouring book. The best way is not to copy any of this, but use the principles that I've shown you to create your own unique colouring books. That way you're going to have a much better chance of actually selling those books instead of copying other people's, if you know what I mean. But that's how you can simply colour in your pattern designs. You might want to do this on the first page, showing an example. You might want to do this on the cover, or you might not want to do this at all. But that's it. It's super simple. Then once you've done that, you would simply go to File, Save As. You can rename that. And then you want to change this to PNG. Press Save. Let that load. You want to flatten all the pages, the images, even though they're already flattened. Press that, and that's saved. Now we could close that. Go back here to Uploads within Canva. Go to Upload Image. Go to Untitled, and now we have that there. So let's just clone this for a second. Delete that. We could upload that. Make that bigger, like that. Move that over, center that, move to the back, and bam. That's how I did it. So obviously I would have spent a little bit more time colouring in some of these patterns to make it look good. Remember always to use just a few different colours that complement each other, because you don't want your book to look too busy. So I think that's it. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. We've covered how to create these, where to get your mandalas from, how to actually create the interior, and how I've also created my cover. Now remember though, these type of colouring books, they're going to take a little bit longer to create, but as you can see, they look really, really good. Now with normal journals and things like that, you can make them really fast, but you're not going to make these or colouring books as fast as that. But they are all completely customized, so you might even get a better chance of making more sales. So that's it for this training.